What is up, Flav City family? It is Rose and Bobby back in the kitchen for a what to buy at Trader Joe's haul right now. In addition to going over a bunch of really good healthy options I have at Trader Joe's, I'm also going to do a couple recipes because I thought it'd be fun to take some of these ingredients, cook them up, especially this here I'm super excited about, and see how it comes out. And Art and I and Rose would not dare film another haul at Trader Joe's like we've been kicked out numerous times. And the problem is the store, right, Rose? It's so small and there's so many employees, or Waldos as we call them, walking around. You just can't get her done, right? So I just got back from the store. I got a ton of stuff and we're gonna go over it. We're gonna cook it up. We're gonna have a good time with Daddy and Rose and Art. Before we get rocking and rolling, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, all those great things. But maybe the most important thing is a bell icon right by Rose's head. Enable all notifications. Exactly. Rose is passionate about this kind of stuff, and so am I, because we have so much content going live every single week. You're going to want to get a push notification on your device, and the only way to do that is by enabling the bell. Okay, probably the thing I'm most excited about at Trader Joe's right now is this. It's grain-free, gluten-free risotto. How do they do that? They use legumes. So check this out. They call this risoni, and there's so many things I love about it. Number one, it's organic. Ooh, must be Amazon. It's organic, so there must be good stuff in here. Let's pause. We don't want to miss our Amazon Prime package here.
Amazon.
Yellow.
FedEx.
Ooh, FedEx, mixing it up. Okay, let's get back. So, we love that it's organic. We'll talk about that in a second. But look at the ingredients. This is what you want to see. No filler, all thriller. 2 ingredients: organic chickpea flour, organic red lentil flour. Because of those 2 legumes, the protein is really high, and these are also high fiber legumes. And it's really cool because if you look at it, it's going to be like a rice grain, which is perfect for making a risotto. And look where it's from. It's from Italy. And it's so important. This is organic. Rose, why is it important? It's an organic legume. Well, we talked about this in videos recently. If you don't get organic beans, they can score high in glyphosate. Rose, glyphosate is from an evil, evil person called Monsanto, and it's the active ingredient in Roundup. And if you don't get organic, they can score very high in glyphosate. So I'm gonna cook this up just like I would risotto. So come back here for a second, Art. I'm gonna warm a 10-inch steel pan, add a couple teaspoons of olive oil, add some onions, carrots, and celery, along with a nice pinch of unrefined salt, that's Celtic sea salt, and a few cracks of black pepper. And I'll let that cook for about 8 minutes. And we need some liquid to cook the risotto in, so I'm going to use the bone broth from Trader Joe's. I like the one in the refrigerator packet. I think it's a little higher quality than the shelf-stable one, but you want to see organic beef broth. That means the cows can't eat GMO grains. And look at that, it's super clean. They have a great price, so if you're not going to make your own bone broth, I would buy the Trader Joe's one and just warm it up. Chris?
I was going to say this.
You're about to. Okay, the veggies have to soften up. In the meantime, let's keep going with our Trader Joe's haul. What next? Oatmeal. So actually, you know the new item shelf at Trader Joe's? It's usually right by the front desk. That's where I saw the risoni and I saw this oatmeal. And the oatmeal is really interesting to me because I see a lot of grab and go oatmeals at the store. And I love the ingredients in this because check this out. If you're gonna eat oatmeal, it has to be organic. I'll talk about that in a second. But look at these ingredients, you guys. So not only is it organic oats, there's no sweetener, which I love, but they're throwing in organic flax seeds, hello omega-3 fatty acids, organic chia seeds, hello protein, iron, more omega-3s. That's fantastic. But if I compare this to the one that's like, oh, maple brown sugar, I'm gonna get that. I probably wouldn't grab that because I hate when they do this. It says maple brown sugar. Well, maple syrup is not the first sweetener. It's cane sugar. These are listed in order of the amount they use. So it's mostly cane sugar. Then organic natural flavors, which is another word for artificial flavors. We talk about that a lot. Then there's maple sugar, but then there's also brown sugar, and the rest is fine. But we're talking about added sugars of 7 here in 1 container. 7 grams of sugar, you guys, is just under 2 teaspoons of sugar. That's way too much. So put the sweet one down. This is great. It's very hard to find this kind of mix. Actually, Rose, when I go to Whole Foods and the other grocery stores, I never see something like this. I just can find organic oats on its own. When you mix in the superfoods known as flax and chia, gangbusters. And you really want the oats to be organic, otherwise conventional oats score very high in glyphosates, the active ingredient Roundup. Once again, our boys over at Monsanto, and organic score very low. So this all around is probably the best, Rose, grab and go oatmeal Daddy's ever seen at the grocery store. Okay, let's move on, but first let me mix up our veggies back here. All right, a couple more minutes and then I'll add the risoni and kind of toast it once again, just like I'm making a risotto. These are a very hot new item. It's dark russet kettle cooked potato chips. We've actually done whole entire snack hauls at the grocery store. This is close to being great, but they have one fatal flaw, and I'll show you. So I actually haven't tasted it yet. We're gonna taste it because I love dark roasted flavors, and I think this is gonna taste like a potato skin. But it's 3 simple ingredients, but do you guys see the glaring problem right here? Right, it's potato, it's peanut oil, it's salt. Ideally, I like to see organic potato, but I'm actually more concerned about the oil or the fat they're frying in, and it's peanut oil. And that's a problem because on the surface, woo, peanut oil is an ideal frying oil, right, Rose? It's high heat. It has no flavor, much like canola oil, but peanut oil, like canola, like soy, like safflower, like vegetable oil, is a highly processed, highly refined oil. And when you do that, when you highly refine something at super high heat, Rose, you alter the fatty acids. So it's not a heart-healthy oil. So I actually would prefer this to be avocado oil or coconut oil or olive oil. And here's the weird thing, Trader Joe's has olive oil potato chips. So if they fried these in olive oil, I'd be 100% okay with that. And yeah, it'd be better if they're organic, but I can't find a potato chip anywhere on the market, including Whole Foods or wherever, that has organic potato chips and good quality oil. They're always sacrificing. That's how I feel. I feel when I see that, how hard is it to take an organic potato and avocado oil? But look at these chips, Art. They're very dark. I mean, I love the color of that. But now Art and I have to try this to see what the deal is. I want the darkest one possible. It's great. It is so darn tasty. It's just not something I would eat, right?
There you go. You said it best, very tasty.
Right? It actually says this is a special variety of russet potatoes that when cooked, get deeply caramelized. So this is what you want, check it out. You really want to take the time to cook the vegetables to evaporate a lot of the moisture, because that'll make them even sweeter on their own. And just like I'm cooking risotto now, I'm gonna take the risoni and add it to the pan and cook it for a couple minutes in the fat. That way it toasts. When you toast the risotto, or the legume in this case, you actually add a ton more flavor. And it's very important back here to have warm stock. Warm stock in risotto is the only way to go. Don't add too much, just enough to make it wet. And then we'll lower the heat to low and just stir it. And when the pan gets dry, we'll add some more stock. And it should be done in about 15 minutes. I'm bringing a pot of water to the boil because I want to talk about a new item in the coffee section of Trader Joe's, and it's single origin, small lot, Papua New Guinea coffee. This is probably the best coffee on that big wall of coffees at Trader Joe's, because anytime you can get a single origin coffee, you know it's going to be superior. And the thing is, look at some of the coffees on the wall at Trader Joe's. They're going to be blends, like the Trader Joe's blend right there. It doesn't tell you the origin, because a blend of coffees can be beans from all over the world, and they're oftentimes roasted to a dark roast. Why? Because when you have the cheaper blends, you want to hear about this? When you have the cheaper blend, you typically have inferior beans, meaning they can be overripe and moldy or underripe and green. And the best way to cover up those inferior qualities is by dark roast, because that flavor note overpowers the inferior notes. I would always recommend, it's a little more expensive, getting whole bean coffee, but also know exactly where they come from. So this is the style of bean, the Arabica. That's not a location. This is a location. So always try to buy single origin, and it's not cheap. This was, I think, $8 or $8.99 for 12 ounces. and it's a light roast, so you can really taste the beans. Now, what I would do, we have a whole video about coffee, right, Rose? And as soon as you grind coffee beans, they have peak flavor for only 10 days, and they have the grinder there at Trader Joe's. So I would only buy and grind enough for 1 week. So you could actually buy the bag that's whole bean, but the whole bean will stay fresh for about 2 weeks. As soon as you grind it, you have 7 to 10 days of peak freshness. I think Zoe needs a nap. So you only have 7 or 10 days of peak freshness. So don't buy a huge bag and grind it all, because after that 10 days, the flavor goes downhill. Just grind enough for 1 week, then grind another batch for the next week. I'm gonna brew up a pot for Art because it's too late in the day for coffee for me. And he's gonna try it out. And Rose is gonna go do some crawling exercises on her mat. I'm gonna fire up the cast iron pan back here because Trader Joe's is getting into the meatless burger game. They're actually getting into a lot of meatless items over at Trader Joe's, and they seem to all fall in the junk food category. But right in the heart of the refrigerator vegan section is Trader Joe's protein patties, right? How do they compare ingredient-wise to what I consider best-in-class Beyond Beef? Well, let's take a look. Here they are. Vegan plant-based burger. See, don't be seduced by the fact that there's 18 grams of protein. I'll show you exactly how they're doing that. Be concerned about the other ingredients. So the way they're getting 18 grams of protein is by pea protein blend, right? Pea protein isolate, and then some fiber. Here we go though. What kind of oil? Sunflower oil. It's not expeller pressed. It's not organic. So not ideal because that's a highly processed oil. By the way, methyl cellulose, they use it on Beyond Burger. It sounds scary, like, oh my God, what is that? That's actually just plant binder. It's basically plant fiber that binds the burger together. Oat fiber I don't mind, even though it's not organic because it's just a fiber from the oat. And natural flavor. So it's really these two ingredients, the natural flavors and the sunflower oil, that bothers me. And you see the macros here. I don't know how they compare to Beyond, but I'm guessing they're pretty similar. But Beyond uses non-GMO expeller pressed canola oil, and I'd much prefer that over sunflower oil. Here's the deal about Trader Joe's. We talked about this before in the store, but now that we're home, do you really believe that everything in the store is non-GMO? They say it is. I don't see a non-GMO certified or verified stamp in here. You're telling me they know for a fact that all of their corn oil, canola oil that has soybean oil in there, is going to be non-GMO. I have a very hard time believing they can trace that back to the source. And natural flavors, not ideal. That being said, let's see how it cooks up next to or side by side to the Beyond Burger, because Art and I had that a while ago. Art, just take a look at the burger. I'd say visually, it looks a little, what's the word, Art?
I think Rose is saying.
Yeah, thank you. Rose, you said it for us. Thank you. All right, come back here. First, we have to stir risoni. I'm actually very excited about this. See how the pan is a little dry right now, you guys? It's time to add a little more stock here. I forgot to add the garlic, by the way. See right here? Look at this. I even mise en placed it. I prepped it, and I forgot it. So shucky darn it. But what are you going to do? Now, let's add a shot of avocado oil to this mini cast iron pan that's preheating here. I'll sprinkle over a little bit of salt. And then we'll add it to the pan. And we'll just cook it till it's brown on each side. We don't have to cook it through. It's completely vegetables. You can eat it raw. But I want some caramelization on there. And I want to season it just like I would a burger. So I'll put a little bit of salt on that side. And why not some fresh cracked pepper. You like the pepper, Art?
I like the pepper.
I like the pepper. All right, let's flip this burger. Hopefully it's golden brown. Nice. That looks somewhat burgerish. All right, the coffee is ready. In the meantime, let's pour a cup for Art. Art, enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
Is this your third cup of the day?
Yes, it is. It's quite good, actually.
Yeah?
If you talk to Joe himself, he says that there are notes of pineapple and brown sugar.
I can never get those tasting notes.
I'm not picking up on either of them, but it tastes delicious.
That's all that matters. Let's get this burger out of the pan. Let's see what this looks like inside here. Interesting. It has a weird smell. Kind of like the Beyond Burger, but smells a little more kind of chemically. Actually, it tastes pretty decent. The crust is really nice. You need that because it's kind of a soft and mealy burger. But I will say, flavor-wise, Beyond Burger has that beat. And Beyond Burger is now at Costco for an unbeatable price. While this is good with the ingredients and I guess the flavor too, nowhere near Beyond Burger. So I wouldn't buy this one. Art, do you want to buy it?
Not really.
I knew he was going to say that. All right. Let me give my risotto a stir. Time for a little more bone broth. Okay, let's continue on this Trader Joe's haul over in the snack aisle, especially the snack bars. They have a ton of options there. Some are good, but most, to be honest, are bad. So you might see some well-known brands that are not Trader Joe's there, such as these. So let's start with Lenny and Larry's. So these are actually quite popular because people think they're eating a cookie that's like high in fiber and protein and healthy. There's nothing, in my opinion, healthy about this. You're gonna see 16 grams of protein, you see fiber, you're gonna buy it. But you guys, the devil's always in the details. So look at these ingredients here. It starts with enriched wheat flour, which is typical for a cookie, but that's bleached white, no nutrition flour. Then let's go to the oil. What kind of oil are they using here? They're using palm fruit oil.
Palm kernel and palm oil in the chips.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Art. So palm oil for the baking fat, and then the chips don't just have a regular oil there. They have palm kernel and palm oil. We have natural flavors. We also have more natural flavors. So they're using palm oil, which is a highly processed, really bad for the environment, oil. And they're using the enriched wheat, and they're using cane sugar. I mean, don't be seduced by the protein counts. We're talking all in all for the entire cookie. I can't even.
On the right.
This is the cookie?
Rightmost column.
Per cookie, there we go. Added sugars in the cookie, 3 teaspoons.
That's per serving. Per cookie, 24.
Oh, Art is on the ball. Oh my God. So no one's gonna eat half the cookie. If you do, you're having 3 teaspoons. If you don't, you're having 6 teaspoons of sugar. So this is not something I'd wanna eat. We go to something that Art and I have seen before called the Paleo Caveman Bar. And even though I'm just a caveman like Phil Hartman, the unfrozen caveman lawyer, I know how to read ingredients. And this is the biggest thing that bugs me with this brand here, is that in the chocolate chips, there's cane sugar. Cane sugar is not paleo. That would have to be stevia, erythritol, coconut sugar, even agave nectar, cane sugar. How do you call yourself a paleo bar when you're using cane sugar? The other ingredients here aren't terrible. They do have natural flavors. They try to suck you in with collagen peptides. I don't understand how they do this. It's really weird. If you want to get the best savory protein bar or snack bar there, it's Epic. It's non-GMO, close to pasture-raised chicken, and the ingredients are always clean as can be. They don't add any bad stuff here. But if you want to stay in the snack kind of frame, you're going to want to get these Simply Nutty bars because they're really, really clean, especially this flavor right here. Hold on, let me add a little more stock. This is the dark chocolate and peanut almond bar. Trader Joe's. How insanely nutty, says this guy. But look at the ingredients, right? There are lots you have to kind of look. So peanuts, almonds, inulin is just fiber. There is a touch of sugar in the dark chocolate chips. That's pretty normal. They're not calling themselves paleo, for God's sakes. Don't worry when you see soy emulsifier of lecithin. Soy lecithin is a harmless emulsifier derived from soy, but it's not like eating soybeans. They're using real vanilla extract. Honey is the sweetener in the bar. They have pea protein isolate, which is really nice. The only thing I'm not thrilled about is expeller pressed canola oil, but at least it's expeller pressed. Oh, they have a little peanut oil. I didn't see that too. But all in all, we're talking 3 grams of added sugars for 1 bar. This is one of the better ones they have there. Now be careful because the other flavors ones that I have there I checked did have natural flavors, and I didn't see that peanut oil at the store, but considering it's so low on the list, it's gonna be one of the best ones for Trader Joe's, so I would scoop that because it looks like one of the best things there. Very, very exciting. Okay, next up I wanna go to granola. Before we do, I gotta check my risotto. So you can't really walk away from risotto too much. You're supposed to stir it. And we're looking like we're in the home stretch here. Gotta check it for seasoning. Almost guaranteed to need a little more salt, but it's like risotto. It's like rice. It's al dente right now. Let's go Another minute until this liquid's almost gone, and then put a good knob of grass-fed butter in there. That's delicious. All right, let's finish this with a nice knob of butter here. I've been dying to use this pasture-raised butter from Vital Farms, but I'm not sure it's 100% grass-fed. It doesn't say it anywhere. I'm gonna try to contact them, but I wanted to try it. And now I'll just kill the heat and let the residual heat melt the butter, and we'll serve it up. All right, let's plate up that legume grain-free risoni. Look how creamy it is. Because of the cooking technique, and because of that butter, we'll take some pecorino romano cheese and just grate it over the top. And then a good drizzle of really good extra virgin olive oil. And if I had parsley, I would do it right now, but I don't. Look at that, you guys. That looks like a beautiful restaurant-worthy bowl of risotto, yet we do it at home for a fraction of the price, and it's grain-free. Whoa. Hot. Hot. Mmm. You're not going to miss the rice. That is fantastic. Perfectly al dente, seasoned to the point, and the vegetables are so soft and sweet. You guys, I'll put the recipe in the description box. Try that out. All right, you got to try this real quick. Mmm. That nice?
It's good. Got a good chew to it.
Yeah, we're going to have that for dinner tonight with Desi. Johnny P's coming over, and I'm going to cook up some of these amazing grass-fed Tasmanian flat iron steaks for dinner. Ooh, I know one guy who loves a good flat iron.
This guy.
All right, I'll put that back there. Really, really tasty. You guys got to make that and tag me on Instagram when you do. They have a pretty decent granola section at Trader Joe's. You kind of have to know what to look for and read the ingredients. Back before I was woke, I like to say, I used to get this granola with Desi, because what I would do is just look and see, oh, it's gluten-free, and it has no oats, and I'm going to get it, right? Because that's what I look for, and that's what a lot of people look for. But when we see the ingredients, we see that there's a lot of issues. You guys see what I see? Number one, the first ingredient is cornmeal. Cornmeal typically is GMO. I'll trust Trader Joe's that it's not. But it's cheap, simple carbohydrates that offer no nutrition and spike your blood sugar. Then they're using cane syrup as a sweetener. Canola oil that's expeller pressed. Not ideal, but at least it's expeller pressed. We keep going down here. The cranberries are sweetened with sugar. That's pretty normal, but good ones will be sweetened with apple juice. And there's natural flavors and something I've never seen in granola, caramel coloring. Why do they put caramel coloring? Purely as a color additive to make this look darker, but caramel coloring is actually a known carcinogen. So this is what you don't want to eat. A lot of times people will see gluten-free bread, gluten-free crackers, and they just grab it. A lot of times they're filled with cheap, starchy, high glycemic grains like corn and rice flour. I would never get that. So if I was at Trader Joe's and I wanted the best in class granola, typically I look for grain-free granola. I'd get this. This is the organic fruit and seed granola, and it's so close to being paleo. Tell me if you can see why it's not. So we start off here. Sunflower seeds, organic coconut, tapioca syrup, followed by sesame seeds and coconut sugar. This is a paleo sweetener that is so good. It's low on the glycemic index. Tapioca syrup is more prevalent. I'd prefer not to see that in there, but that's way better than cane sugar. And then the reason why we're not going to be paleo is because the cranberries here are sweetened with sugar. Not a huge deal, but not ideal. But then we go down to the rest of the ingredients. Everything else is clean. Chia seeds, omega-3 rich flax seeds, real vanilla extract, no natural flavors. That's what you want to eat. And if you go for the grain one at Trader Joe's, get the organic one and make sure it has clean ingredients like this. Very, very good to see. I've seen better. I'd rather get the Purely Elizabeth grain-free granola at Whole Foods or on Amazon. That is best in class ingredients, but you really have to know how to read the ingredients here. But to go from this back in the day to this now, it's literally night and day, right? Okay, by the way, I'm sucking this down, and we talked about this in the last Trader Joe's video. This is the organic coconut smoothie. I cannot rave about this enough. It's organic coconut meat and organic coconut water, the pink stuff. It's only high pressure pasteurized, so it's not high temperature pasteurized. If you want a drink that's actually good for babies after 8 months old, Amazing. It's rich in good saturated fat, lauric acid, MCTs, all from the coconut. When we went down to South Beach last month, we stopped at the Trader Joe's in Miami and got 10 of these to stock in the hotel fridge. We drank them on the beach. Rose drank them. It's one of the best things you can drink in terms of hydration, natural electrolytes from the coconut water, and delicious fat from the coconut meat. Amazing, right? What else, you guys? So here's a few spices. Now, I don't buy any spices at Trader Joe's, but they do have a few rubs. So check this out. These are really popular ones, and a couple are good, one not so much. So this is a new one called Everything But the Elote. This one just puzzles me very, very much. Vegan chicken less seasoning salt. And this one is really cool. So this is an umami seasoning blend. Umami is the Japanese word for deliciousness. It usually comes from foods like mushrooms, Parmesan cheese, soy sauce. So what makes this umami? Here's the ingredients. I don't love they're putting kosher salt in there for me. I like to control the amount of salt in there. Plus they're using processed refined salt. But we got mustard seed, porcini mushrooms are an umami bomb. Then they have button mushrooms. That's a cheap mushroom. I'd rather see a cremini in there. And then red pepper, black pepper, thyme. This is great. I would have this in my pantry all the time, along with the Everything But the Bagel seasoning like I always do. Vegan chickenless seasoning salt. Art and I were talking about this. All it is onion powder, spices, turmeric, and garlic powder. I don't know why this is chicken seasoning, and I don't know why it's vegan. So that is very puzzling to me. Maybe you guys can leave a comment down below and let us know. And this is Everything But the Elote, and this has some issues for me. So we look at the ingredients. First ingredient, what? Cane sugar is the #1 ingredient in your spice rub here. Then corn flour, supposedly non-GMO, starchy corn flour. Very, very weird. That's filler. Sugar is a big ingredient in #1. Then we get down to ingredients like cheese, which I like, because you think of that like a cotija cheese on a elote. Natural flavors, I don't like that. And then we got cilantro, cumin. So actually, I prefer to see cumin and cilantro and cheese at the top. No natural flavors, no corn flour, and maybe a touch of sugar at the bottom. So very, very strange. I would just go with this guy right here. This is a really nice thing. You can put in almost anything to add great flavor. Interesting stuff. And then in that aisle too, we've talked about this in past videos, but two things I always have in my pantry is the organic full-fat coconut milk, because this is one of the only organic ones on the market that doesn't use a guar gum or emulsifier. It's just Trader Joe's and Thrive Market, the only ones that don't have the guar gum and the only ones that have organic clean. You don't really have to get organic per se, but the cheaper ones like it, if you go to Aldi or somewhere else, they always have like a phosphate or some kind of sulfite in there, which is a preservative. And the nice thing about getting full-fat coconut milk is that it's not watered down. When you buy light coconut milk, it's just this with more water. You're paying for water. Homie, don't play that game. Just get the full-fat one, water it down yourself. This stuff is so good and good for you. And when I eat pasta at home, we never eat enriched wheat macaroni or regular pasta. We eat gluten-free pasta, and I cannot rave enough, well now, about the risoni from the chickpea and the lentil, but this pasta could be the best gluten-free pasta on the market, and it's one of the best deals. It's organic, yellow lentil and rice pasta, brown rice pasta. Important because organic is good for lentils because they score high in glyphosate if it's conventional. But look, there's no filler. It's all thriller. Lentil, brown rice, and water. The texture and the flavor, in my opinion, is just like real pasta, and it cooks up so lovely. We always have this in the pantry. I think it's dynamite. They have this now. We talked about vegan, so they have the vegan burger, but now they have vegan mac and cheese, and I don't understand why everything vegan these days has to be junk food. But look at the ingredients here, you guys. My God. Can we read this together? So we see it's made with a traditional macaroni product. That's fine. I mean, that's what it's going to be. And I love the fact they're putting creamy butternut squash in there. I love the fact they're putting creamy dairy-free coconut milk in there, right? But then the butter they put in there is a vegan butter spread of palm, canola, soy, flax, and olive. So the way I see this is toxic, even more toxic, really good, right? Then you see natural flavors, lots of enriched stuff like niacin here, right? So It's not something I would eat, and you can do a lot better, to be honest. I'm just so curious on the taste of this. Trader Joe's, we've talked about this in the past, is known as, I call it, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of oils. You'll see one product, they use extra virgin olive oil, and it's amazing. Then like the product right next to it, they'll use palm oil or something like that. It's so strange. I wish they would just stick to good oils, but anytime you see a plant-based butter with palm or soybean pass, the only one I think that's really, really high quality, and they have it at Trader Joe's, is Miyokos. Miyokos uses coconut oil, and it's delicious. Now here's this. Ugh. Wow. Not my favorite. Very under-seasoned, very bland. That's off. That's not good. I would pass. I'm not even going to offer Art a spoonful on that. That's just bad news.
I wasn't expecting such a stern
No,
response.
if Art passed on the burger, you guys, there's no way he's going to go through with that mac and I can make a better vegan mac and cheese than that. Yikes. All right, what next? Oh, but looking at my phone here from the grocery store, in the vegan section, they do actually have a cashew fiesta dip that's dairy-free and plant-based. Look at the ingredients, though. Although it's a slightly cleaner version of the mac and cheese, it's made with cashews that I love, then potatoes, which are organic, which is good, green chilies, tomato paste, natural flavors. They use a lot of natural flavors at Trader Joe's, which I don't understand, but the fact that they're using potatoes, I compare that dip to the cashew queso from Siete and the cashew queso from Good Foods, you know, that big one at Costco. None of those use potatoes. Potatoes, in my opinion, are a cheap filler ingredient that are no nutrition. At least they're using organic, right? Because it's a Dirty Dozen member. It's high on the glycemic index and it's starchy. These guys are using it as filler. Then they're putting natural flavors. That being said, it is cleaner than the vegan mac and cheese, but I'd rather you get that Siete or that Good Foods one. So that is it, right? It's fun doing these hauls at home. At first, I was kind of bummed out, realizing that we can't go to Costco anymore because they asked us not to film there. Trader Joe's is impossible because there's so many people working there. But at least at home, I'm free to like talk and rant and really go off and not worry about Waldo's over my shoulder. So you guys, that was it. I hope you had fun. It was kind of fun making these dishes here and doing a haul in a real time. I mean, I never thought of myself as being able to cook and haul at the same time, and this is amazing. So like, subscribe, share, you guys. Oh my God. The only way this channel keeps growing, the way it has, and boy, it's been growing this year like a rocket. We're taking a rocket. Another SNL reference. Is by you spreading the love, sharing with your family, your coworkers, all that good stuff. Please let us know what other videos you want to see. I think I'm going to keep in this theme of recipe stuff and go to the Aldi maybe, do a haul in recipes with budget themes to it. But you let me know, right? The channel is all about you. We got 2 videos going below us right now. But Art and I and Rose and Desi will see you very soon. Until then, we leave you like we always do. Hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace. I gotta make a big batch of this now. My dad's gonna come over, cook up that steak. See, even Rose is excited. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. My Rosita.